you want to say anything, Tenzin? I know you're a big fan of it.
Well, you've played it.
Yeah, I'll get you started out here.
The most popular OFG video out there.
I mean, I didn't even try. I didn't even try with that video. You know, I'm not gonna link it. You can go find it yourself. Anyway, it's just called Perspective 2. How Kain and Lynch can be like the best game ever made. Anyway, well, I guess we should start there. When I was basically saying in that video, I was talking about the characters, talking about, you know, it's so different. Like all these other games, you know, you got the hero and it follows a typical plot cycle. The game was so unpredictable, like what happened. And I recommend if you don't want to fumble with some shoddy controls and stuff, just go on Wikipedia. And yeah, the game will cost you like $15 on Steam. It'll cost you like 30 at GameStop. Don't bother. I'm talking about Deadman, the first game. Just go on Wikipedia, read this tragic story. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but the story is so sad.
I can agree.
Like I actually never finished it because tech-related issues with my computer, and I was actually playing on Twisted's computer, and then I built him a new one, and then I kind of never finished it, and there was some ridiculous level with a dump truck. It was impossible.
Yeah, now that you have a computer that can run it, I'm sure you don't feel like going back.
And yeah, no, I'm not going to go back. But anyway, yeah. But the problems with the first game, it was so good. Like, and a lot of stuff was so good. The story was so good, and I loved it. And I loved like the gameplay and how the story was told, and how Lynch could like snap at like any second. He was so unpredictable. And then like Kain was he was like so desperate, and I could really relate to him. I don't know why, but it was just he was so relatable, and he had like all these issues, and it was just like, you know, I really could like kind of be Kain's character, and it was really good because he was the character you played as. And then every time I got into the gameplay, it was just like, look, these snipers, and what happened is, you know I have like the mini-map, like GTA style, down the bottom left or right? Mm-hmm. So you got that little circle. So what would happen is if a sniper's aiming at you, that thing would become a sniper crosshair, and then you see yourself in the middle of it. And you have to run like crazy, and then if you stop, he's going to blow your head off. But if you keep running, he won't be able to aim because he'll follow you around. Then eventually he'll give up and you'll be out of the range of the sniper. But you have no idea where the sniper is.
Wait, he'll just give up on you? Like, fuck it.
Well, you'll be out of his sight, quote unquote. But you have no idea where he is. And then like there's this one level I remember. There are so many snipers. You get out of one and another one just starts. You get out of one and you don't know where you're supposed to go. And there's like, of course, normal enemies with a submachine gun shooting at you. And you can't stop to fight them because of this crap, you know, and then, you know, there are things like that were just broken in that game. Same thing with this dump truck. You have to, like, kill the person in the dump truck, or else he's going to run over your daughter and you lose the level. And I couldn't beat it.
So, having played some of the second game...
Yeah, so it's like, the big thing was, like, we're going to fix a lot of these problems. Now, it was just a demo. They're not going to put the broken stuff in there. So, there's nothing broken like that. But as far as, like, the cover system, the turn, you know, controls and all that kind of stuff, clunky. It's still not right. It's still not good. Like, I gotta say, I really was rooting for it, and I maybe Twisted would disagree, because he said he kind of liked it.
Yeah, he said he liked it.
Honestly, I'm just gonna be honest, I'm a big fan of the game. It's still not fixed. The cover system is, it's better. It's better than it was. It's not right, though.
What is the most disappointing thing that you saw in the demo?
The fact that I like the ideas they had in the art style. There's some, so we gotta, like, address this, too. The art style was, like, it's all about digital media. And it's kind of difficult to understand if someone doesn't explain it to you. When you're first gonna boot up the game and you're gonna play it, you're gonna think your computer's broken, or your Xbox is broken. Because, like, sometimes it'll look like you're watching a bad YouTube video, like when you get shot, or when you especially when you're sprinting, which is absurd. You know how you watch YouTube videos and the resolution is not right, and you get those little squares in there that are like, you see they're like pixelated?
Yeah.
All that stuff, that's in the game. So when you play, stuff like that's going to come up.
For effect? Like,
it's an effect, yeah. And when you get shot, there'll be blood and red, and then the red will blur. And, you know, it's okay, but, like, the big thing that pissed me off was, like, when you're sprinting, you get this tunnel vision kind of weird angle, and like the camera goes down behind your character, and then your character's taking up most of the screen. You can't see where you're running. Like, it's just like, why am I down here? And it's supposed to, like, the effect is cool. Like, you really feel like you're running fast. Like, there's, like, lines that come back, and then, like, it's very dramatic, and the angle's dramatic, and you feel like you're, like, running down a hallway, but you can't see.
It's a shame you can't see the gestures.
Yeah, and then it's just like your character's running, and it looks good. It's like a great angle for like a main character running in a movie, but it's not good for a game at all. It's not usable, and like you run into people and you run into objects you can't see. It's really embarrassing, and I couldn't believe it. But as far as the other art style stuff goes, some of it is pretty cool. So they. Like, if you go up to someone, or if you execute him, or you shoot him in the face, this game is pretty violent. You know, like, you watch Cops or something, and someone's face gets blurred out because they don't want to show their identity, well, or if it's so disgusting it needs to be blurred out. Like, they have a lot of effects like that in there, too. Nice touches, you know, it's just like showing how, like, scary it is, and, like, you know, it's really cool. Like, some of that stuff is pretty cool, and I liked it.
So it seems like they really haven't really paid attention to the controls more or less. They just try to look for the more, like, the special effects and the graphics.
Yeah, and the thing is like, when you play, the graphics, they're not good graphics. Like, they're not, like, wow, you know, but that's not what they're going for, either. So, wow. So the graphics in the game are not good, but that's not what they were going for in the first place. So you gotta take the graphics for what they are, but they do hinder the gameplay. I like what they did. It's just not helpful for the game. Like, explosions will go off, and your sound would sound like disgusting. Like, it's just like this muffled sound that's like crumply, and then your screen shakes, and then like part of your screen kind of gets ripped down. Like, there'll be like you know, like when a TV gets messed up and you have like lines and stuff. And like,
so you're saying the graphical choices they chose for the game are interfering with like how you're actually playing the game? And
it definitely are. And like sometimes, see, it looks great in a screenshot. It really does. How like the lighting and this stuff is. It's a beautiful looking game. Like, I like the way it looks. You just can't play in that environment. Like, you'll see, like, you'll walk down a street in Shanghai rather, and you know, there's lights, and like there will actually be like let's say there's a pink light, there'll be a pink line, like a bar going straight down your screen. I specifically remember this stuff for like white bars going across. You can't see. Like, it's hard to play, and it's just tough. You know, it's tough sometimes. I mean, as far as the gameplay itself, it's functional. The shooting's alright. You can take cover, you know, and your cover's destructible. A lot of stuff is good stuff.
But they weren't listening to your perspective.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all the character stuff is still there. It's pretty good. The story has got to be amazing because there's so much character conflict between Kain and Lynch and all the stuff that's going on. The only reason Kain's in Shanghai is not there because he's with Lynch. He's there for some kind of deal. He's only meeting up with Lynch. Lynch runs into a problem. It's kind of alluded to, but I think he has to save his girlfriend or his wife or whoever. You know, he keeps talking about this girl, so I guess. And in the trailers, he was talking to a girl, so it's kind of just like alluded. They never said it, but yeah, it's.
Is it your most disappointing of 2010?
It's not disappointing. I was really. I mean, I'm still considering buying the game. It's just that maybe when it gets a little cheaper.
So you would wait for the bargain bin.
Yeah, you know, it was on Steam for 10% off, and that wasn't good enough for me. So, I didn't want to do that. I feel bad because, well, not only because I made that video, but, but you know, it's not what was going on. It's not what I expected it to be. It's upsetting, but
yeah, I've had a lot of that.
The thing is, the game itself is
Especially
probably fine. It's just that this art style stuff, it gets in the way. It's like I like the two separately, but when you put them and you try to play, it doesn't work.
Okay.
It's not functional. It looks great. It's such a cool idea. I love all that, but you can't play in it. It's just too hard, and it's not like the game is completely broken, but like someone's gonna pick up this game and go, "What the hell?" You know, they're gonna say like, "Why aren't the characters look right? Why is the sound
One thing you
messed
said
up?"
before, and I still agree with it, it's a belief I have, is that when you're making a game, you got to think game first, and then everything else second.
And that's definitely true here.
That's the problem they're facing here.
You know, some people love it. I mean, at E3, they had the people playing it. It's going to be the biggest mixed review game ever. And, you know, people at E3 are like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." You know, it is. But if you're trying to play, it's not. It's just hurting. I just don't feel that it's the best thing for the game. But there's one other thing I haven't talked about, multiplayer's back.
Oh yeah, the multiplayer.
Some cool stuff, and they bring it back.
Good.
They're bringing back Fragile Alliance. I tried to jump into it. No one's online, especially for the demo.